Alright, the C-clip on the front that holds the blades on worked with a tool. It has the little openings. This C-clip does not. So even though I'm trying to do the right thing with the right tools, I'm still going to have to pry this one off with 2 flathead screwdrivers. So I guess we'll try that. Thanks, GE. This just gets easier and easier. You guys rock. Okay, sarcasm is over. Alright, so this is almost impossible to film. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the screwdriver on either side to pry that off of there. We really just want to get it down around the other side of the diameter of the what's his name? Okay, I can't really see that well. It sort of looks like someone else has already done this once. This might not be the original C-clip. Or the front one might not be the original C-clip. Who knows? All I know is this is not that easy, as you know. If you've tried to do this, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't have enough leverage on it for this to really work. Alright, now let's try this. Nope. Okay, so I'm trying to hold on to the motor housing and get that in there so that stays. Okay, I just need to have leverage on both of them. Yes, almost. It's halfway off. I'm going to use the rest of this. Got it off. Okay. There is our C-clip. You can't see that, but there's the C-clip. Okay, next that comes off is the washer. The washer has a little tooth. You see that little tooth there? And that keeps the C-clip from spinning out of way. And then there's a little felt washer, which we'll take off here. Without breaking it. The key to dealing with some of these felts without breaking them is have the right tool. And there we go, done. Okay, so we'll take a look at the parts we have here in just a second. Here's the back of the housing with everything off. And you can see the bronze color in the circle inside there. That's where the bearing is. Okay, we're going to wait on that. And then here are the 4 parts that came out. Felt washer on the inside, this little material fiber washer type deal that's kind of red and brown in color. This outside washer with a little divot or a little lip in it, and then your C-clip. And the point I think of this is to keep the C-clip from spinning without this, so that they're all running, I guess, the same. So there you go. And if we do everything right, this should just come right out. But I want to have you have a good video of that. So hold on. Here we are with the late GE reversible motor. And we have all our clips off of the back, and the rotor should just pull right out. And it does. There you go. So there's your empty fan motor. And here is the rotor itself. As you can see, it's got all this attached to it. And then there's your shaft. One of the interesting things about these, this doesn't appear to have it. Some of the earlier ones have a spiral line that goes this way in there and brings oil in, but this doesn't appear to have that at all. If I turn it, you can see there's no oil channel. So maybe the later ones didn't have that. There's not a lot of dust in here. It looks pretty clean on the inside. So we're going to clean the inside of the bearings. I use rubbing alcohol. You can use WD-40. You can use carb cleaner, which is a good product as well, the aerosol kind. And I'm just going to clean as good as I can and clean the inside of the bearing as well. Oil it all back up and start putting it back together. So we've gotten pretty far. The hard part is going to be dealing with the seals that got all bent out of shape. These got pretty messed up, so we're going to be kind of hammering them back into shape and see if we can hammer them back into the rear of the housing. Now this round thing comes off. This is just a cover. And it's just pushed onto the blades. It's got these crimps. So this can come off too, but honestly this thing's not that dirty, so I'm not really that worried about having to blow it, the dust out of the motor. There's really not a lot in there, so I'm going to leave this as it is. I'm not going to take it apart. So that's the plan. Stay tuned. Do a little cleaning. So we have the rotor and the rubber fan mount stayed on there, and I'm not pulling it off. I'm just going to clean out a little of this dust that's around here on the little winged blades for the motor. Just because, but this is really not that dirty. So just do a little bit of that just to do it. The rest of this rotor is fairly clean. So that's really all I'm doing on that. Inside it's fairly clean, so it came out nice. Now we are going to clean the shaft of any oil and debris all the way down in. It might be hard to show you that. I use Q-tips and a little alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Alright, so we've got a little bit of dirt and grime comes out down at the end. The other side of the bearing surface. Let's try another one. And we just keep doing this until it comes away totally clean. We don't want any old oil left on the bearing. One advice that I heard was to make sure you clean out the groove. Now this doesn't have the oiling groove that goes spiral down the center, but I'm still going to clean the groove where the C-clip goes, and this little groove here. Maybe that's all that's left of their oiling groove, because I think, well, that might have been where the C-clip was. It doesn't really matter. So we're just kind of trying to clean this off as best as we can all the way around the diameter, just to get all the stuff. And we're getting a little bit of dirt off of there, and that's what we want. And then once we have that, we'll totally oil it up. Right, now on some of these that I've seen, there's a felt in the front here. If I look at this, there's actually a few things in here. There's a felt, a washer. I don't know if they're going to come out of here, because this is kind of crimped at the end. So I'm not really going to worry about that. As far as trying to get that out of there, I don't think it's coming out. Well, there's a lot of junk on there. Can you see that? That ain't no good. So I'm going to try to... Yeah, a lot of crap on there. So it might be nice to get that out of there, but I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Let's see. Tweezers. Well, it will come out of there, maybe. I don't really want to come out of there. There are a few washers on the front here inside this plastic front cover. There's like a washer here, but it doesn't really want to come out of here. Maybe this comes off first, but I don't really feel like going through all that. It does look like that might come apart. There's, you see the red and the clear. That might all come apart. I'm not sure I'm going to do that just now. I think I'm really just going to oil it and put it back together. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Here's the inside, and that's the unit bearing, and you can see, well, it's really hard to see. I'm not much of a cinematographer, but that's the bearing surface on the inside there. It looks pretty good. Don't look too wretched. I'm gonna give it a quick cleaning with the alcohol and the Q-tip, and then we're gonna oil it all up.